and they pull away from me like, oh God. And that's what we want to start being bold about. We're not here. I think one thing I just was discussing with someone is that I feel oftentimes like light workers and sensitive empaths that are gentle, they're compassionate, a lot of beings don't really read us correctly. So if we're compassionate and we're patient and we're, gentle, a lot of times it seems like people will see that as like weakness or, oh, they're a pushover. I can go and do whatever I want to them. No. And if that's the message you feel like people are getting from you, then you need to be really bold and express that truth. I've had to do this at times with people where I've been compassionate, I've been patient with what they're doing. Maybe they're procrastinating on something that's really important. They gave their word on something and they're not honoring it. And I will, be compassionate and gentle, and I'll keep reminding them. But if they start to project their bullshit on me and they start to try to manipulate me or make me feel crappy while they play a victim game, I will totally speak my truth about it and let them know that my compassion and my patience is not a weakness, and do not take advantage of it. Because if you take advantage of that kindness, I am not going to trust you any longer, and I will not participate in any creations with you from this moment. So we have to be bold like that. People will start to respect you more, or they'll move out of your life. Either way, it's a win-win. So either let them go, or they can step up and show honor and respect. The card I was going to read is Obsidian. So if any of you have that crystal, that stone, it's actually like a lava rock. Obsidian, you could work with that. And as I work with my clients, I tell them, if you don't have the crystal or the stone, call it in vibrationally so you can welcome obsidian into your energy field. So this one is connected with true self-reflection. The Master Crystal Deva Tara Mael. Welcome, child of light. I am blessed in your presence. Long ago we embraced, you and I, our old friends. I am the embrace of Bast, the breath of Set, and the path of the jackal, the pathway through the shadow self, doorway to the physical worlds and their mastery. I allow polarities to be known and to carry the freedom found in dedication to self as spirit eternal. And I love that, the polarities to be known. When we're playing those passive-aggressive games, we got to see it in order to shift it. And to carry the freedom found in dedication to self as spirit eternal. You are eternal beings, every one of you. We got to stop living like we can be stopped or they can take anything from us, because nothing can stop the light. Nothing can stop truth. No. So if we're afraid of someone taking our job, our relationship, our life, anything, we're in ego. We are operating under the illusion of being temporary, under the illusion of being separate, under the illusion of being, something that could just fade away. But our light, our soul is infinite and eternal. We have to start living this way. We will get so much done, so much shifted, so much will be beautiful and transformed when we each remember what we are. We are not temporary. Will you walk the inner path of the jackal? Let us ignite the stargates hidden deep in your heart and be blinded no more by the stars above. For fear you will not see the infinite glory that holds them. Evolve with me now. Call the 3 stars from the heavens above and let them rest in your eyes. In blinding blue light, let them expand to 13 and come to rest at home in infinite embrace with the ancient moons. In a single call of power, unite them now at the heart and explode self into the velvet black light of all that is. And I love that. Explode yourself. That's the ego. Explode that ego self into the velvet black light of all that is. Return to your oneness with Source right there. The point of universal birth. We will journey now to the self-perceived darkest corridors, and by the light of my being, the reflection of truth within you will be obvious. Beware, I am direct in my action. If you dare walk my path, embrace self, and transmute all by my earthly flame of truth. To love, you may never choose to return to your old life of unrest. And I was working with a client, and this card came up, and I was like, yes, Like when you really dissolve the ego self and you remember you're eternal, you remember you are a child of the light and that you have a right to speak, you have a right to express, you have a right to take up space, to be seen, to be heard. And when you really start to own that power, you're going to remember all of this. You're going to remember that you don't need to ever be afraid. You'll never want to return to that old self of unrest, the anxious self. That won't make any sense to you. And maybe today it does. Maybe today you're like, well, I'm always anxious, Tanya. That's perfect. See where you are today. But no, that is not your natural state. That is a conditioned state. That is something you've been taught to be. That is not who you are. And we got to come back to who we really are. It's all about that. Let's see. In acceptance of my gifts and the definition of the shadow's embrace, you now see and feel me in reality. For there is nothing to fear in the limitless light I represent. In the reality of the Spirit's unity, we are nurturing and eternally loyal to divine purpose. Let us rewrite the path of light so that humanity will hide in the shadows no more and journey proudly in the stars within and finally above to glory. Ascension, humanity collectively ascending into unity consciousness. That's what this is all about. And it's going to start with each of us doing our part, each of us doing our inner work, working with the light workers that are here, that are skilled at this stuff, so that we can make leaps and bounds forward, save tons of time, energy, pain, and suffering, and even probably money, because when we're really struggling, it's like we're just losing our money at the same time. When we're in that separate consciousness, we can't keep things, we lose everything. But when we come into unity consciousness and we really understand how to embody it, we just draw in everything we need. There's never a reason to fear anything. And I really, really reside here. And I'm so excited to, in any way I can, to express that and to mirror that to each of you listening, because you all deserve it. So on here, I'm going to just cut ahead because there's a lot more to the card, but it says the healing affirmation that you guys could all have as a mantra this week is, I walk the path of unconditional truth. And really make a pact. Hey, it's 555. Make a pact to yourself to walk the path of true unconditional love and truth, to be a truth teller, to be a messenger. It's so rare that I see them, and I really know that I'm here. That's my soul's mission. It's my soul's mission. I'm like a lioness of God, and I have come here to wake you all up. You're not sheep. You're fucking lions. You need to remember that. You need to start to roar. You need to start to own your power. You're the king of your own jungle, your own kingdom. So your sacred space, that's your dwelling. That's what you are in charge of. You're not some pushover. You're not weak. You're not a victim. But many of us have played that because we've been taught to, and we've been taught that that's what we're worth. That's the illusion, and we have to open our eyes to see truth. Otherwise, we'll stay stuck in the illusion. So I'm going to pause everything. There we go, my lion roar. I love it. Any comments or anything on that?
Yeah, and I don't know where this come from. There's somebody, Cindy, in the chat, and I don't know where this come from. She said that you're amazing at what you do, and you're an awesome coach. Where'd that come from?
Cindy, yes. She's one of my soul coaching clients, and she's done aura clearance with me, soul coaching. Yeah, Cindy, I adore her. And so, yeah, I bet you she's kind of saying that to help Jamie be like, go for it, Jamie. So thank you, Cindy. I love you.
Yeah, and Jamie says he's in South Carolina.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can work with you.
As far as it can get, sort of. But it doesn't matter. I told him Skype or phone, no boundaries.
Exactly. It's really all energetics, and and I just put my info on there for you, Jamie, my website and the phone number, and I'll put my email. But basically, just contact me, and you can ask me questions, and it starts like that. It starts as a soul conversation, as Cindy knows, and from that soul conversation, I can get to know where you're at, and then we can set up the session. But I can do the angel readings, the past life regressions that I do, all of that I have done with Cindy. She's been one of these amazing clients that I've really practiced all this with virtually, remotely, and it's powerful. So any of the stuff I offer, workshops, mentorships, anything I can do through Skype or through phone. So if you guys are serious about working and getting your stuff shifted, I'm telling you, make the connection. And it's a great time because I've even got a healing special. So any of you guys that are interested in mentorship as well, contact me because I have those those options as well. And I'll work with your schedule so we can just kind of go from there. But I know this is, I am really good at manifesting, and I'm really good at drawing to me what I love now. And it's been a lot of work through a lifetime of, being a learning empath, and really in the early years struggling and feeling frustrated and feeling unseen, unloved, like I didn't belong on this planet. Most of my life I felt like that. And it took a lot of my own courage and my choosing to give myself back to the light. My listening to angels when they were waking me up in the mornings with dreams and messages, and they were calling me back into service. And me listening to that, instead of thinking I'm crazy and, oh, that's weird and I don't want to tell anybody about it, I decided to totally be a truth teller about it. And my angels encouraged me to. They said, you speak the truth, you live transparently and truthfully, and we will take care of the rest. Because I'm a messenger for that bigger picture, for the love, the light that this planet is calling for. And each of you that resonate with me and feel drawn to me today, you're also these messengers. So if we start working together and we start to see how powerful we really are, just think about the world and how it's going to shift. And when you do your healing work, it changes and transforms your outer world in amazing ways. And if you have a lot of pain and a lot of trauma, addiction, you're suffering in some way, silently, you think you're alone, we feel the sense of isolation and separateness, call me and we'll work together, because I promise you it's an illusion. And as you work on clearing all that stuff, the traumas that we've been through, they were real and they need to be honored, they need to be addressed. But then they need to be cleared and released, because you're here to shine. Each of you are here to really have a magnificent life. You're here to have abundance. You're here to thrive. You're here to feel good in your bodies, to feel good in your relationships. And if you're not, then it shows you where there's some room for improvement. And I promise you, you're deserving of whatever you desire. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. And this week, what was our mantra again? Our healing affirmation was, I walk the path of unconditional truth. So I would put, I walk the path of unconditional love and truth. And be the love and be the truth bringer. Stop being afraid to speak your truth. Start being honest with yourself, and then start being honest with everyone around you, and watch how that transforms your world. Don't be afraid if it starts to look like chaos and a bunch of people leave. Let them, because that is divinity happening. That is the divine answering your calling. If you're wanting love and you're wanting abundance and you're wanting honor, sometimes that shows up as an earthquake in your life. It shows up as a literal shaking of everything that doesn't make sense. And a lot of people might leave your life, but trust that Source is working out everything for your highest and best. Life is never against you. It's working for you. Try your best to remember that. So, any last comments or anything, Amnon, before I sign off?
Nope.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your questions, Jamie. And I'm trying to remember if somebody else had a question, their name. But to all of you that had questions, thank you so much, and comments, and that participated in the conversation. I love that. So thank you. And thank you, Cindy, for promoting my services. And I love you, girl. And you're freaking awesome. She has grown and shifted leaps and bounds, and she's still getting more and more badass every day. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing week. And be true to yourself. Go out there and be lions. Let me hear that roar one more time, Amnon. You got it? There it is. Nice. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And contact me if you want to work together. It's a great time to do that. Namaste.
You're attuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, My Life, My Will with Gisela DiCarlo, The Tanya Love Show, Help Then with Debbie Brooke, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Triangle Be Well with Howard Jacobson, Lunch and Learn with Rabbi Yisrael Cutler, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, Parent Dome with Ryan Miller, Current Affairs with Amnon Nissan. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety